All right, so we have the following formula for the magnitude of an earthquake measured by its intensity, and so we're interested in determining if we have a measurement of 4.5 um, and a measurement of 3.0. Those are both magnitudes, the R. We want to compare the intensities I for each respective magnitude. So we want to solve for I since we want to compare the I for each. So so if we have a 4.5, so if we have R equals 4.5 and we have an R equals 3.0, we can determine the intensities of each of those. So to be able to do that, we need to solve for I. Now we have I sub O. This is actually a constant. It doesn't define what this value is, but it doesn't really matter. As you can see in the comments, if you read the comments, I sub O cancels. So it is an actual, it's a constant value. It's the smallest intensity, but you don't need to know what that value is. It's a very small intensity, so but we won't go into that. But hopefully you understand why I sub O, I mean, it doesn't matter because it cancels that once you look at the ratio, because we want to know how much bigger R equals 4.5 5 is compared to R equals 3.0 when looking at the intensities of each. So we need to solve for I, and we know that we're in logarithmic form currently, and we need to put in an exponential. And so we'll get I over I sub 0 equals this is base 10 raised to the R power. So that's an exponential form. Hopefully you see how we convert that. It's just a basic conversion of to logarithmic to exponential. So now we have the ability to solve for the intensity for each of these R values. So we have R equals 4.5. We can solve for the intensity. Now you see the I sub O on the right side of the equation, so we can easily multiply that to the other side. So let's just, but hopefully you understand how we got to this form first. Now we can easily just put it over here by multiplying by I sub O. Okay, so so we're in this form. Now we can solve for I for each of these. So I'll call this I sub 4.5, I guess you can say. And we have equals I sub 0, 10 to the 4.5 power. And here we have I sub, I'll call it 3.0 because we have R equals to 3.0. And this is equal to I sub O, 10 to the 3 power. And then from here, we want to know how much bigger, is it twice as big or is it, 3 times as big? How much more intense is the, if we have a magnitude of 4.5 compared to 3.0? So we want to look at the ratio, and so take I of 4.5 and divide that by I of 3.0. And this is equal to I sub 0, 10 to the 4.5 over I sub 0 of 10 to the 3rd power. And as we can see, I sub O cancels. So that constant didn't even make a difference. And from here, we can just solve using exponent properties. And we know that we subtract exponents when we have the same base and we're dividing. And that gives us 10 to the 1.5 power. So we know that that it is 10 to the 1.5. The ratio ends up being that much bigger. This ends up being approximately 32. So it's 32 times bigger. If we have a magnitude of 4.5 compared to a magnitude of 3.0, the intensity, which is what they're asking about, the intensity is 32 times bigger. Anyways, if we actually calculated I, which we could if we actually knew what I sub 0 happened to be, we would notice that I will end up being 32 times bigger for 4.5 compared to 3.0. So if by chance, if we solved, I'm sure this is incorrect, but if I happen to be, for 3.0, if I happen to be like, let's just say, 2, then I for 4.5 would be 64 because it's 32 times bigger. So that's what we determined. That's what we get when we compare the ratio of the two intensities. So hopefully this makes sense. Let me know if you have any other concerns, and I'll be more than happy to help. If you do have any other questions, feel free to say that you don't understand a certain part. You can even reference a certain time in my video. You can say when you mentioned, whatever at 2 minutes and 33 seconds or something like that. It'll help. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to verbally explain what you don't understand. If you just reference a time in the video and just say, I don't understand that part when you mention from whatever you were mentioning from 2 minutes and 33 seconds through 2 minutes and 52 seconds, please elaborate on that part of the video or something. Yeah, let me know what you think. Okay.